It's the men's Final Four here on 91.1 WRMU for the first time in school history. The Mount Union Purple Raiders are here in the Final Four and looking to clinch a spot in the national championship game where they will face off against Christopher Newport, who came away victorious over Swarthmore 69-66 in our earlier game tonight. But first, must take care of business here against the Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks. Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Buttar. Alongside me is my great partner here, Brennen, Kerns, and Brennen. We made the long drive up here. Great seats here tonight. How excited are you for Mount Union to be in their first Final Four here tonight?
I'm sweating for them. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's been anxious sitting here on the sideline with you. We've been talking a little bit on the pregame, just kind of like how we think this game's going to go and what's in store for Saturday. So I'm a little nervous. I can only imagine how the dudes on the floor are feeling right now, but this is something that you have to come in and really, really want if you want to go get it.
That's for sure. You definitely have to go get it at this very moment as Mount Union looking for their first ever appearance in the national championship game. Meanwhile, Wisconsin Whitewater looking to make their sixth appearance all time in the national championship game. They are making their sixth Final Four appearance as well. That will lead us into taking a look here at the Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks, who come into tonight's matchup 25-7 overall. They won their region by defeating Oswego State 77-74 in the Elite Eight. As in that matchup, Miles Barnstable led the way with 23 points, while Carter Capstrand added 21 points and 15 rebounds. And Delvin Barnstable also had a double-double at 12 points and 10 rebounds as the team out-rebounded Oswego State 44-32 and outscored Oswego 47-40 in the second half to come from behind and clinch a spot here in the Final Four. BK, take us through some stats and some players to look out for here tonight for the Warhawks.
Well, obviously you said it best. Miles Barnstable and Trayvon Chrislome, two of their highest scorers, very good shooters from beyond the arc as well. So something Mount Union's going to have to do is play some really solid perimeter defense to stop these two. The other Barnstable on the team, there's two of them. Also a very good rebounder. In the points per game conversation, too, this is a team that's got a deep bench as well. So something to look out for is how many dudes on the floor can do it tonight and how many dudes can score. A really big thing to look out for, Miles Barnstable, the WIAC Newcomer of the Year. He was all WIAC team, all region, and so that's something to look out for. He is going to be one of the keys for Mount Union on defense tonight.
That's for sure, as that will lead us directly into taking a look here at the Mount Union Purple Raiders. Coming to tonight's matchup, 29-2 overall. They defeated Wisconsin Oshkosh 78-67 in the Elite Eight to make their appearance here in the Final Four. Christian Parker led the way with 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 blocks in the victory, while Jeffrey Mansfield added 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists as the team held Oshkosh to just 36% shooting in the victory and never trailed in the contest. BK, some players and some stats to take a look at here tonight for the Purple Raiders.
Well, I mean, you can't say enough about Christian Parker and Colin Gurley together up there between that wing and post duo. They're really hard to stop, and obviously the Raiders are going to be looking at Christian Parker here, Player of the Year, first team all region. Darnell Newsome as well. We were talking about him in the car right up here. I think personally he's going to have a really good game tonight. I'm feeling the heat from Darnell Newsome, but there's dudes on this team that can do it from all over. Obviously, new arena, new environment. Going to be a little bit of a switch in pace, but there's a lot of energy in this building, and quite frankly, a lot of purple that you can't really decipher between who is who. And so both of these teams, very, very high three-point shooting teams, very good free throw shooting teams, really good on the defensive end. Both teams are some of the highest in the country in blocks per game. We're going to see a battle down to the thread here in this one.
That's for sure. Wisconsin Whitewater and Mount Union rivals on the football field. Tonight they are rivals on the basketball court. A spot in the national championship game on the line. We're going to take about a 30-second break here on 91.1 WRMU, and then we will be back for starting lineups here momentarily between Mount Union and Whitewater. So stay tuned here on 91.1 WRMU. And we are back here live from Fort Wayne, Indiana, getting you ready for tonight's matchup between your Mount Union Purple Raiders and the Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks. First, let's take a look at the starting lineups here tonight. First, for Wisconsin Whitewater. Whitewater is led by head coach Pat Miller, and their starting lineup consists of the sophomore guard from Racine, Wisconsin and St. Catherine's High School, number 1, Jameer Barker. The freshman guard from Sheboygan, Wisconsin and Howards Grove High School, number 14, Miles Barnstable. The junior wing from Sheboygan, Wisconsin and Sheboygan Lutheran High School, number 15, Delvin Barnstable. the sophomore forward from Franklin, Wisconsin and Franklin High School, number 23, Carter Capstrand, and the junior forward from McFarland High School in McFarland, Wisconsin, number 33, Trevon Chisholm. And next, we'll take a look at the starting lineups here tonight. For your Mount Union Purple Raiders, they, as always, are led by head coach Mike Feuline, who's in his 12th season as the head coach here at the University of Mount Union. And their starting lineup consists of the senior guard from Wilmington High School in Wilmington, Ohio, number 0, Jeffrey Mansfield. The senior guard from Akron-Hoban High School in Akron, Ohio, number 2, Colin Gurley. The graduate forward from Twinsburg High School in Twinsburg, Ohio, number 13, Darrell Newsom. The junior forward from Canton Glen Oak High School in Canton, Ohio, number 22, Christian Parker. And the graduate forward from McDonald High School in McDonald, Ohio, number 30, Braden Poole. But starting lineups are wrapping up here at Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. But BK, we kind of talked about it at the top of the broadcast, some players to really look out for. What kind of style of play are you expecting to see, though, tonight from the Purple Raiders? We've seen them do it all. They go down in the post to Christian Parker. They shoot the threes with Colin Gurley, Darrell Newsom, etc. What do you think the recipe for success is here tonight for the Purple Raiders?
Well, obviously, I think it's going to be to get to that big man downstairs, Christian Parker, and, he can be making plays out of the post and inside the post, whether it's to his teammates or straight to the rim. So really a force that they're going to have to game plan for, and I'm sure they've been game planning all week for him. But that's the problem is with this Mount Union basketball team, if you game plan for one guy, the next one will step up, and that's what they've shown all year, and that's what a championship caliber team is capable of doing. So in terms of defense, I think this is going to be a high-intensity, full-court, almost kind of man-to-man thing. There's going to be a lot of high pressure, high intensity on the ball, force turnovers, make mistakes, a lot of transition points. We're going to see both teams in an unfamiliar arena, both teams in an unfamiliar place. Similar kind of atmosphere. It's going to be a dogfight.
That's for sure. Definitely a dogfight indeed as the Raiders are getting introduced here. A great crowd on hand from both squads. Like how BK said, really just a sea of purple in here right now with the Whitewater colors, of course, being purple and gray as well. And the Purple Raiders have traveled well here tonight. Again, the winner of tonight's matchup will face off against the Christopher Newport Captains on Saturday at 4 p.m. here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. As the Raiders prepare here for battle, they are looking to make it to that national championship game. But man, what a sight it is here, BK, just seeing all the fans. We're sitting courtside. We're used to being upstairs a little bit more. We're just getting a fist bump from Colin Gurley right before the game starts.
I'm trying to take it in. It's a lot, and honestly, it's an honor to be here and something that small part of a big dream here, and so I'm really excited to call this game. I've been anxious for the last hour, and I can say that I think everybody, including you and me in this gym, are ready to get this rocking. So
yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Both our stomachs were in knots just for the team itself. We're not even playing out on the court, but should be a great one here tonight. As both teams getting set to take the court here. Mount Union in their all whites, Whitewater in their all blacks. It'll be Christian Parker jumping here with Trevon Chisholm. As we are set to get underway, Mount Union, their first ever Final Four appearance. The tip is up, and it is won by Christian Parker, and the Raiders have possession to start things off here tonight. Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. He gives it over to Christian Parker, now over to Newsom. Around the perimeter they go, back to Parker. Now over to Colin Gurley. Gurley steps into a quick three. That one's too strong, no good. Fight for the rebound. Braden Poole comes up with it. Extra possession here for the Raiders as Christian Parker looks to drive, goes up with the floater. Can't get that one to go. A rebound to the Warhawks.
Two really good looks on that possession. Not a bad first one.
That's for sure. As Jameer Barker now picks up his dribble. Wants to feed it inside to Chisholm, gets it to him. Chisholm looking to go to work here on Braden Poole. Goes up with the layup, can't get it to go. Rebound Braden Poole. Mansfield walks it up the floor now for the Purple Raiders. They'll take a Christian Parker screen. Now looks to drive. Mansfield spins into the paint. Going to work here on Jameer Barker. Backs him down in the post. Goes up for the layup. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound Barker. So the Warhawks now looking for the first 2 points here tonight as Barker steps into the mid-range. Gets it to go. It's 2-0 Whitewater. So just over a minute into this one. It's Jeffrey Mansfield here once more. Around the perimeter they go to Darrell Newsom. Newsom now swings it down low inside to Christian Parker, looking to go to work in the post. Parker goes up with the layup, banks it in, and the first 2 points of the night for the Raiders.
That's somebody they're going to be feeding it to all night long.
So a minute and a half into this one, it's all tied up at 2. Trevon Chisholm now with it. Hands it off on the perimeter to Barker. Barker will take a screen from Capstrand now. Looks to drive, gives it up to Capstrand down low inside. He goes up with a hook shot and gets it to go. Nice defense there by Christian Parker. But Carter Capstrand gets the hook shot to go. So it's 4-2 Whitewater in the early stages of this one as Mansfield takes a screen here from Parker. Looks to drive, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Tip-in, though, is good. Brayden Poole on the offensive glass.
It's his second offensive rebound in the first 3 minutes.
Brayden Poole already with 3 quick rebounds here tonight. 2 on the offensive glass, like BK mentioned, and we're all tied here at 4. It's Chisholm now with it. Hands it off to Miles Barnstable. The team's leading scorer here draws a double team momentarily, feeds it down low inside to Capstrand, who gets to the rim for the easy 2. So the double team paid off, got the ball out of the hands of Miles Barnstable, but into the hands of Carter Capstrand for the easy 2. It's now 6-4 in favor of Whitewater. Mansfield now with it. Takes a screen once more from Christian Parker. Now looks to get the offense set. Mansfield will decide to take it himself here. Goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go. Rebound Capstrand. It's Jameer Barker walking it up the floor now for the Warhawks. He will take a screen from Capstrand. Now gives it up on the perimeter. It's Delvin Barnstable now with it. Swings it back over to Barker, who steps into a 3. That one's no good. Christian Parker grabs the rebound. Up ahead he goes here to Jarrell Newsom. Newsom thought about the 3, now looks to drive, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go.
Brayden Poole again.
Brayden Poole again indeed, coming in with his 3rd offensive rebound, tying things up at 6. So the graduate forward has been waiting a long time for this moment, and he is shining so far. As Jameer Barker now with it. Gives it up to Chisholm. Chisholm now on the cut, goes up with the reverse layup and gets it to go. What a finish there from Trevon Chisholm. So 8-6 in favor of Whitewater, 16:25 left to go in this first half. It's Colin Gurley now with it on the perimeter. He takes a screen from Christian Parker. Now tries to feed it down low inside to Parker, but it's taken away by the Warhawks. Barker will have it. He swings it over in the corner to Miles Barnstable, steps into a 3, and it's nothing but net. Miles Barnstable from downtown gives the Warhawks the 5-point advantage. 11-6 Whitewater as Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. Mansfield once again takes a screen from Parker. Parker switched off on now by Barker down low as he looks to go to work on him. Down low in the post is Christian Parker, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Goes out of bounds. They'll say it's last off Darrell Newsom. Our first media timeout here. Mountain Union trailing 11-6 with 15:44 left to go in this first half.
I feel like the Purple Raiders are getting shots up a little too fast, not working it around enough. And this team does really well when they play together, but when they try to play isolation ball, and sometimes that's the right play, getting it down to Christian Parker, letting him work, or letting Colin Gurley go in the wing. But as for early in the game and setting the right tone for what's coming for the rest of this first half, it's important that they establish a really solid team foundation right now. Get it working, get it moving, get some of these guys hot, and get them putting shots up and getting them in the rim. This is important for both squads right now. Whitewater's coming together. They're pushing it in transition. Mount's had a lot of unfortunate rollouts. Jeff's had 3 shots to the rim, in and out, in and out. This is something that's going to flow later in the game. They got to stay strong, stay in it, play really well defensively, strong on the boards. It's early.
It's early indeed.
We've seen the Purple Raiders go down like this on multiple occasions. They are what's known as a second half team for sure, and they have been all year. So, not the strongest start, but a lot of nerves here tonight.
That's for sure. Nerves is definitely playing a factor, I would say, as the Purple Raiders have started out 3 for 10 here tonight, while Whitewater has started out 5 for 7 from the floor. Whitewater has also hit 5 of their last 6 field goal attempts. It will be Whitewater basketball here out of the timeout as it's inbounded to Jameer Barker. Barker is defended here by Jeffrey Mansfield. He takes a double screen, now swings it back over to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable feeds it down low to Carter Capstrand. Capstrand here on the baseline now looks to go to work in the post here on Christian Parker. Goes up with a hook shot, and it's 13-6 in favor of the Warhawks. So Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. He hands it off on the perimeter to Poole. Now over to Colin Gurley. Back over here, Jeffrey Mansfield. Mansfield takes a screen from Parker, now steps into a three. That one's no good. A rebound to the Warhawks. It's Miles Barnstable now with it. Barnstable takes a screen here from Capstrand. It's defended closely here by Darrell Newsom. Barnstable goes up to the rim. Whistle, no shot there for Barnstable, but nonetheless it's going to be a foul going on Darrell Newsom, his first, team's first, out of bounds here for the Warhawks.
And it's going to be a very physical game. The refs are really letting them play right now, so see a lot of battles going down here in the trenches.
So it'll be Delvin Barnstable now inbounding it to Carter Capstrand. Capstrand looks to go to work here once more on Christian Parker. Parker knocks it loose, though, and it's taken away by Christian Parker into the hands here of Mansfield. Tries to drive, but he loses the possession on the fast break. It's now Miles Barnstable coming the other way with it. He goes up for the layup and has it rejected by Braden Poole. Out of bounds it goes. It will remain Wisconsin Whitewater basketball. No, they will actually signal a foul here. It'll be on Colin Gurley. So Braden Poole came away with the block. They will say Gurley got him with the body. So the foul goes on Gurley. That will be his first, team second, and Miles Barnstable will head to the line now for two. First free throw rims out there for Barnstable. Score remains 13-6. The first substitutions here tonight for both squads. Chris Painter Jr. checks in for the first time here tonight for Mount Union, and for Whitewater, it'll be number 25, Drew Fisher, as well as number 0, Elijah Lambert.
Barnstable's got to be brothers, right?
They are indeed. Miles and Delvin are brothers here, as Miles is the younger one as the freshman, as he knocks down 1 of 2 from the line that time. It's 14-6. Miles Barnstable had an incredible freshman year, the WIAC Newcomer of the Year, as well as the All-Region 9 Rookie of the Year by D3Hoops.com. As the Raiders looking to cut into the deficit here, it's an 8-0 run for Whitewater as Colin Gurley at the other end steps into a three, can't get it to go. One-handed rebound by Braden Poole, swings it out now to Newsom for the three. That one's no good. A rebound here to the Warhawks. Braden Poole certainly hustling so far here tonight for Mount Union. It's here at the other end. It's Elijah Lambert, gives it up to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable takes a screen, now steps into a three. That's short. Offensive rebound, though, to Drew Fisher. Fisher now swings out to Capstrand, steps into a three. That's well short. A rebound here to Elijah Lambert, and he throws that off of Colin Gurley. A heads-up play there. It will remain Whitewater basketball.
A really solid hustle play by Lambert there, and offensive rebounds are not something Mount Union can afford right now.
The inbound here for Delvin Barnstable. Gives it over to Capstrand. Capstrand once more defended here by Christian Parker. Tries to feed it down low inside, but it's taken away by Colin Gurley, and Gurley draws the whistle. First foul of the night on the Warhawks. It's going on Delvin Barnstable, his first, team's first. It'll be a side out of bounds here for Mount Union. So Gurley inbounds it to Chris Painter Jr. Painter walks it up the floor here. Now gives it over to Darrell Newsom. Back over Braden Poole in the mid-range. Poole now looks to go one-on-one here. Down low inside. Goes up for the layup and gets it to go. Braden Poole, what a start here for him tonight. He's got 4 points and 5 rebounds and makes it 14-8.
And he's one of the only dudes alive out there right now. Mount Union needs some energy.
As here at the other end, it's Whitewater with it. As Gurley nearly comes away with the steal, knocks it out of the hands of Delvin Barnstable. But the Warhawks will remain with the possession. 12 seconds on the shot clock now here. As Delvin Barnstable picks up his dribble, gives it over to Drew Fisher with 7 on the shot clock. Now down to 5. Fisher needs to go up for the layup. Can't get it up, but it's a whistle, and we have a foul going here once more on the Purple Raiders. This time it's going on Chris Painter Jr., his first, team's third. Don't believe it's a shooting foul. They will say it's on the floor. So it will remain Warhawk basketball. So 13:07 left to go in this first half. It's 14-8 in favor of the Warhawks. As off the inbound here, it's Miles Barnstable steps into the shot and gets it to go. Nothing but net. As the Warhawks on top now, 16-8. So Chris Painter Jr. walks up the floor once more for the Purple Raiders. Gives it up Christian Parker. Parker fakes the handoff on the perimeter. Now jab steps, looking where to go with it. He decides to drive, spins into the paint, but lost the possession. It's into the hands now of Drew Fisher. Goes up for the layup on the break, can't get it to go. Putback is good by Delvin Barnstable. It's now 18-8 in favor of the Warhawks. Mike Fuline will take a timeout here as the Purple Raiders face a double-digit deficit.
and that the deficit feels like it's more than what it is. I mean, Mount Union's shooting 29% compared to 62%. I mean, it's a big difference in energy right now. They're feeling good. They've hit a few shots. They're feeling fresh. Mount Union a little bit frustrated. Not a lot of buckets are falling for friendly rolls. They're not getting calls to the rim. So this is going to be something that Mount's going to have to fight through this first half. They're going to be battling all the way for this next 12:37 to try to get into halftime with a tie or a lead. We've seen it, but we've seen this before. Mount Union just kind of needs to turn on the afterburners a little bit, let the engine heat up a little, and we'll be just fine.
Yeah, that's for sure. As the Raiders have gotten off to the cold start here, Whitewater is clicking on all cylinders at the moment, on top 18-8. As out of the timeout, Colin Gurley will inbound it to Chris Painter Jr. He will walk it up the floor for the Purple Raiders. CPJ will look to drive here by himself, goes up for the layup, can't get that one to go. A rebound to the Warhawks. It's Elijah Lambert now with it. Lambert picks up his dribble, gives it over to Barker on the perimeter. Now back over to Lambert. Lambert feeds it once more to Trevon Chisholm. Chisholm now looks to back down Christian Parker. Parker with some strong defense here, but he's going to be whistled for the foul. Trevon Chisholm goes right into the chest of Christian Parker and draws the whistle. And for Parker, that'll be his first, team's fourth.
That's a tough call. Just really aggressive play in there. Not somebody that you can afford to be in foul trouble. So Christian Parker's got to be on his P's and Q's for the next few minutes or so.
Parker will take a seat here as Logan Hill checks in for the first time tonight for the Purple Raiders. Chisholm misses the first free throw there. Second one's up, and that one gets the friendly bounce off the rim and in. Makes it 19-8 in favor of Whitewater. Matches the largest deficit of the NCAA tournament here for the Purple Raiders. Colin Gurley now with it on the perimeter. He takes a screen from Logan Hill. Looks to drive, goes up for the layup, has it blocked by Chisholm. What a defensive play there. As Jameer Barker walks it up the floor now for the Warhawks. As Barker gives it down low inside to Chisholm, and he throws it down. A one-handed slam there from Chisholm. A block at one end, and the thunderous slam at the other. 21-8 in favor of Whitewater. As CPJ gives it up on the perimeter now to Braden Poole. Poole looks to drive, spins into the paint, goes up with the fadeaway, can't get that one to drop. A rebound to the Warhawks. It's all Wisconsin Whitewater right now, a 15-2 run for the Warhawks as Barker looks to drive, goes up with the mid-range. That short fight for the rebound. Bodies on the floor here. The Raiders come up with it. It's Colin Gurley now with it. Gurley looks to push the pace, gives it over to Chris Painter Jr. A whistle. The Painter's going to be called with the traveling violation. That will take us to our next media timeout here with 11:08 left to go in this first half. It's 21-8 in favor of Whitewater.
I know Mike Feline right now is trying to absorb all the patience in his body and just relax. But this is a time right now that is really, really hard time to relax. 8-21, you're shooting 24%, 4 for 17 from the field, and it almost feels like Whitewater hasn't missed. And when you haven't made a shot and they're coming down in transition, possession after possession, your defensive legs get tired. It makes it harder to transition to offensive points. When you're scoring, it gives you that little energy burst, that little boost of adrenaline that's going to keep you rolling on defense. That's what we're seeing right now. We need a big momentum shifter from Mount Union. Something big. Christian Parker sitting on the bench right now. Maybe we're looking to some other guys. Colin Gurley, CPJ, get him back rolling. So somebody on this Purple Raider squad needs to be the burst of energy that they need to get out of this slow start.
Yeah, that's for sure. So far here tonight, Braden Poole has led the Raiders with 4 points to go along with 5 rebounds. Well, actually, my apologies here. 6 points for Braden Poole. 6 points, 5 rebounds for Braden on 3 for 4 shooting. The rest of the team right now, BK, 1 for 13. So definitely need to get something going here on the offensive end. We've seen some quality looks. They just simply aren't falling at the moment. So getting set here out of the timeout, it will be Wisconsin Whitewater basketball. It's Elijah Lambert, Jameer Barker, Delvin Barnstable, as well as Drew Fisher and Trevon Chisholm out there on the floor. For the Warhawks, for the Raiders, it's Jeffrey Mansfield, Colin Gurley, Chris Painter Jr., Darrell Newsom, and Logan Hill. As the Warhawks have it here, Jameer Barker on the perimeter takes a screen from Chisholm. Picks up his dribble, gives it up to Chisholm down low in the post, goes up with the fadeaway, and it's nothing but net. What a start here tonight for Whitewater. They're on top 23-8.
Yeah, just can't seem to miss.
Raiders looking to get a basket here at the other end as Colin Gurley now with it. He drives, goes up with the floater, and off the rim, no good. A rebound here to the Warhawks. Just been one of those nights here so far for the Purple Raiders. They're now 4 for 18 from the floor. Barker now with it. Gives it up on the perimeter to Chisholm. A whistle, and they'll say Chisholm's foot was out of bounds. It's a turnover here for Whitewater. Ball back to the Purple Raiders as Christian Parker re-enters the contest for Mount Union. And Miles Barnstable will check back in here for the Warhawks.
Mount Union's going with a little smaller group in 3 guards in Gurley, Mansfield, and CPJ.
We'll see if that will pay off here at the other end. As down low inside they go to Christian Parker. Parker looks to go to work. Goes up with a hook shot and gets it to go. Needed it indeed. Christian Parker now with 4 points, makes it 23-10.
Hey, sometimes a small basket starts a run.
We'll see if that's the case here. As down low inside they go at the other end of Miles Barnstable. What a cut and what a bucket indeed. The reverse layup right there makes it 25-10 in favor of Whitewater.
Not exactly easy to do with one of the best shot blockers in the league.
As Christian Parker now goes to work down low in the post, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Follows his own shot. It's a whistle and a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Warhawks. So nice hustle there from Christian. But it will be Whitewater basketball as Braden Poole checks back in now for the Raiders. Darrell Newsom takes a seat. It's Jameer Barker walking it up the floor now for the Warhawks. Barker swings it over to Barnstable. Barnstable gives the handoff over here to Fisher. Now over to Elijah Lambert, a whistle and an offensive foul going here away from the ball. Jameer Barker fighting for that inside post position with Chris Painter Jr. gets whistled for the foul. That'll be Barker's first, team's second. As Chisholm checks right back in here for Whitewater, Fisher takes a seat. So Mansfield walks it up now for the Raiders. Gives it over to Chris Painter Jr. Now up top to Braden Poole. Poole picks up his dribble, gives it right back to CPJ. Painter now steps back here for the three. Had it partially blocked as the Warhawks come the other way, but Chris Painter comes away with the steal. In transition, here come the Raiders. Down low inside they go to Christian Parker. Sends it back out to Painter for the three. That's no good. A rebound here to the Warhawks. They're ahead of the pack as Capstrand gets to the rim for the easy two on the fast break score.
There's not a lot of transition defense right now.
27-10 in favor of Whitewater. A 17-point deficit is at the other end. Colin Gurley gets on the scoreboard, crosses his man over, and gets to the rim for two.
They're grinding the rust off right now.
27-12. That's Gurley's first bucket of the night. As Miles Barnstable now with it. Barnstable defended closely here by Jeffrey Mansfield. Gives it up to Capstrand on the roll. Now gives it over to Barker, who steps into the three, and it's nothing but net. My, oh my, 13 for 19 now for Whitewater to start this contest. It's now 30-12 in favor of the Warhawks. At the other end, Mansfield looks to drive here for the Raiders. He goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Putback is up and good, though, there by Christian Parker. 30-14 in favor of Whitewater here. As up top they go to Capstrand. Capstrand swings it over to Chisholm. Now over to Elijah Lambert. Lambert will give this over to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable looks to drive. We have a whistle. And it's another foul going here on the Purple Raiders. This time it's on Jeffrey Mansfield. His first, team's fifth. And we have another media timeout here. 7:46 left to go in this first half. It's been all Whitewater so far. 30-14 here tonight.
Yeah, and when you're shooting 13 for 19 from the field at almost 70% as a defense, it's very hard. I mean, you're watching Mount Union, they're playing really strong defense. They're just getting some really good buckets. Now there's been some defensive lapses, but if you're watching on both ends, Mount Union and Whitewater both playing really strong defense. Just Whitewater's finishing at the rim, Mount Union's not. It's as simple as that. You can't shoot 7 for 25, it's 28%, and expect to be in a game. Now, this is nothing to be a panic over if you're a Purple Raider right now. This is something that's completely fixable. You still got 7:45 to start cutting at this deficit a little bit and going to halftime with some momentum. We've already seen Mount Union start picking it up a little bit, little by little, bit by bit, and it's going to come from the defensive side of the floor. This is not going to be something they get out of offensively. This is going to be something they get out of defensively, playing really strong, getting into transition points. That's when we're going to see Mount Union start scoring the basketball.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It needs to start on the defensive end so far here tonight, as Wisconsin Whitewater, like how we mentioned, they're 13 for 19 from the floor, 68% overall. They've made their last 4 shots here at the offensive end as well. Again, the Purple Raiders shooting just 7 for 25, but when you really look at it, the Purple Raiders still playing with a lot of hustle. The shot's just not going down right now, but you're going to need those defensive stops if you're looking for a comeback here tonight. As Miles Barnstable will inbound it here to Jameer Barker, as the Warhawks have it. Now over to Delvin Barnstable, a whistle, and we have an offensive foul going here on the Warhawks.
I can't tell if he called a moving screen or if that was just like a brute force kind of screen. Because he's giving you the charge on him, but it looked like it was a moving screen.
They will say it's a moving screen here on Jameer Barker. A significant foul there for Barker. That'll be his second, and that will be the team's third as well. Barker's going to take a seat here as Fisher checks back in. As Darrell Newsom at the other end steps into a 3, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound though to Colin Gurley. Raiders now with their 6th offensive rebound here tonight. As Gurley gives it over to Parker. Parker steps into a 3 off the pick and pop. That's no good. Fight for the rebound, and Whitewater comes up with it. The Raiders have missed their first 8 3-point attempts here tonight. It's Miles Barnstable now with it. Barnstable looks to drive here on the Defensive Player of the Year. Darrell Newsom now gives it over to his brother Delvin Barnstable. Steps into a 3, no good. Rebound, Christian Parker. Parker pushes the pace here for the Raiders. Goes coast to coast for the layup. A whistle, and it's a foul going here on Whitewater. And I believe the foul there is going on Miles Barnstable. That will be his first, team's 4th, and Christian Parker to the line now for 2. So Christian Parker has enjoyed an incredible season here for the Purple Raiders. The OAC Player of the Year, D3Hoops.com, All-Region 7 Player of the Year. He's also a first-team All-American as he misses the first free throw there. As Parker looks to make the second one here. Second one's up and good. It's now 30-15 in favor of Whitewater. Exactly 7 minutes left to go in this first half. Miles Barnstable now with it. He gives it over to Chisholm. Chisholm swings it up top to Capstrand. Capstrand now over to Delvin Barnstable. Swings it back over here to Capstrand once more as Capstrand has it knocked out of his hands there by Christian Parker. It will remain Warhawk basketball here. 13 seconds on the shot clock. The inbound here to Drew Fisher. He hands it right back off to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable looks to drive here on Newsom. Goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go, but it's a whistle going here on the Purple Raiders. I believe that will be on Darrell Newsom.
He looks a little confused. Oh, they're calling it on Jeff.
So they will say it's on Mansfield. It looked like it could have went either way right there. The foul is on Mansfield, his second now, and that will be the team's 6th. First free throw is up and no good there for Miles Barnstable, so score will remain 30-15. Coach Fuline will elect to keep Jeffrey Mansfield out on the floor here. Barnstable's second free throw is nothing but net. It's good. It's 31-15 in favor of the Warhawks. Mansfield now with it. Swings it over to Braden Poole. Now back over to Colin Gurley. Gurley feeds it down low inside to Christian Parker. Parker looks to go to work. Goes up with the hook shot, and that one is no good. Fight for the rebound, and Whitewater will come away with it. Miles Barnstable now walks it up the floor for Whitewater. Swings it over to Fisher. Fisher gives it over to Chisholm. Chisholm looks to drive. He's cut off baseline. Now swings it over to Delvin Barnstable. Barnstable drives it. Oh! Has it blocked by Christian Parker. A big-time rejection there from Parker as Darrell Newsom with it. Gives it over now to Colin Gurley. Gurley now looks to drive. Goes up with the mid-range. Can't get it to go. A rebound to the Warhawks. Man, they just simply aren't falling here tonight for the Purple Raiders. They missed their last 4 field goal attempts now here.
As the old saying, can't buy a bucket.
That's for sure, as Fisher now looks to drive at the other end for Wisconsin Whitewater. He gives over to Chisholm, who steps into a 3, and it's nothing but net. Trevon Chisholm from downtown. It's 34-15 Whitewater, the largest lead of the game. Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. He takes a screen here from Braden Poole, weaves his way through the defense, goes up for the layup and couldn't get it to go. A rebound to the Warhawks, but they'll say Fisher's foot was out of bounds. It will remain Purple Raider basketball. As Mansfield has started out tonight's game 0 for 6 from the floor. You can definitely see the frustration on his face as he gets set to inbound it here. Mansfield inbounds it to Colin Gurley, and off the inbound, Gurley steps into a three. That's too strong, no good. And it was out of bounds. For a moment, they did not whistle it out of bounds, and Mansfield went back up with the layup. But nonetheless, it will be out of bounds. Whitewater basketball. Now the Purple Raiders 0 for 9 to start from the three-point line.
It's not looking like their night, but that's why there's 2 halves to every game.
That's for sure. They call it March Madness for a reason. We could be in for some madness here tonight. Needs to get going here at the defensive end, though, as Drew Fisher now with it. Picks up his dribble, tries to feed it to Chisholm. It's tipped into his hands. Delvin Barnstable now looks to drive here on Colin Gurley. Gives it back to Chisholm, who now drives on Mansfield. Goes up for the layup, and Mansfield does a great job there. Steps in front of Chisholm and draws the offensive foul for Chisholm. That'll be his first, team's 5th. And the ball goes back here to the Purple Raiders.
Yeah, if you watch these Warhawks offense, it's a very quick flowing downhill drive, gets to the basket, kick out offense. Something you have to be ready for.
So Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. Gives it up to Braden Poole on the pick and pop. Poole now looks to drive, a whistle. And Poole returns the favor at the other end. An offensive foul is called here on Braden Poole. That'll be his second, team's 7th. And so the ball back now to the Warhawks as Elijah Lambert checks back in here for Whitewater. So now Jeffrey Mansfield and Braden Poole each with 2 personal fouls, but they will remain in the contest here. It's 34-15 in favor of Whitewater as Miles Barnstable walks up the floor here with 4:30 left to go in this first half. Barnstable now hands it off on the perimeter to Delvin Barnstable. It's a whistle, and we have another foul going here on the Purple Raiders. This time it's on Colin Gurley, and now Gurley will pick up his second personal foul. 8th team foul of the half will send Delvin Barnstable to the line for the 1-and-1.
So that's Braden Poole, Colin Gurley, and Christian Parker all with 2. It's
as Barnstable misses the front end of the 1-and-1, but they'll say that missed rebound right there that went out of bounds was off Christian Parker's hand, so it will be Whitewater basketball. So Delvin Barnstable gets set to inbound it now here for Whitewater. So he inbounds it to Capstrand, and this time it's knocked out of bounds. Let's say it's off Colin Gurley. Will remain Whitewater basketball. So Delvin Barnstable will inbound it here once more. Gives it over to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable looks to drive here on Newsom. Goes up with the layup. Has it rejected by Darrell Newsom. A big-time play from the OAC Defensive Player of the Year.
And that's the kind of energy that we need for the next 4 minutes of this game. You're not down, not out. It's the mentality you need to be rolling with.
That's for sure, as Delvin Barnstable will inbound it here to Drew Fisher. Fisher gives it over to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable will look to drive, goes up with the layup, and has it stripped out of his hands by Poole. Into the hands of Elijah Lambert with 2 on the shot clock. They go up for the layup, can't get it to go. A rebound to Darrell Newsom. Great defensive stand by the Raiders there as Colin Gurley now with it, feeds it down low inside to Christian Parker. He goes up with the layup and gets it to go. Defense turns to offense for the Raiders.
And that's how they got to do it.
Christian Parker now with 9 points here tonight. Braden Poole has 6. The 2 big men have combined for 15 of Mount Union's 17 points. It's 34-17 is at the other end. Capstrand steps into a wide open 3-pointer and knocks it down. 20-point lead now for the Warhawks. 37-17 as Colin Gurley now with it on the perimeter. Gurley feeds it down low inside to Christian Parker once more. He's got the mismatch down low in the post. Goes up for the layup. They will say it's a foul on the floor. Foul going here on Elijah Lambert. That'll be his first, team's 6th. We'll get to another media timeout here. The final media timeout of this first half with 3:20 left to go in the first half. It's now 37-17 in favor of Whitewater.
Normally, I'm thinking coming up with solutions to things like this. Down 20 at the moment. It's something that it's a hard pill to swallow in the semifinals of a Final Four game, because right now you're looking and you're going, okay, I'm down 20 in what might be one of my last games, or if you're a senior. So this is where grit comes in. You got to put your foot on the pedal, start moving, and get somebody going. Be that guy that steps up, be the leader, and get somebody rolling. They're missing energy. It's there, but every time it starts to rise, a bad shot happens or somebody misses, and it falls right back down to the floor. They need to keep it maintained. If you're going to be the team that's going to fight back in this game, you got to be fighting for all those loose balls, fighting for extra possessions, offensive rebounds, everything you can do. Throwing presses at them, throw a zone, some trap defense, something at the top of the arc, something. I mean, the way that Mount Union's maneuvering through these screens between hedging and trying to switch between the faster, quicker guards down to the post, it's so hard to do. You got to stick with one, and they're trying to. I like what they're doing. It's complicated defense of how they're trying to switch it up between bigs to guards screening, and I think they need to move down to the switch of the process of all these screens that are coming down, especially how much this team moves downhill to the basket.
Yeah, that's for sure. If you really take a look at every category so far, Mount Union is being, for lack of a better term, dominated in every category right now, but they can definitely turn things around here with a few adjustments. As off the inbound, it's to Darrell Newsom, who gets to the rim for two, and it's an and one up coming here for Darrell. What a take there on the backdoor cut. The foul on Trevon Chisholm. As for Chisholm, that will now be his second personal foul, 7th team foul of the half. And Newsom to the line for one more. Carter Capstrand checks back in here now for Whitewater. And that could be the spark that Mount Union needs right there. As Darrell Newsom had a big block at one end that led to a score, and then right here off the inbound, gets to the rim for two and has a chance for one more at the free throw line.
An absolutely huge and one opportunity. And he gets it back.
Misses the free throw, but gets his own rebound. Now feeds it down low inside to Braden Poole. Poole goes up with the fadeaway from the post.
There it is.
There it is indeed, a 4-point possession there for the Raiders as Braden Poole now up to 8 points. Makes it 37-21 in favor of Whitewater.
All you can ask for is cut the lead.
Little by little here for the Purple Raiders as the Purple Raider faithful in attendance starting to get loud here. As up top they go to Carter Capstrand, steps into another three. That time it's no good. Rebound Braden Poole. Raiders coming with it the other way here now. It's Colin Gurley now with it on the perimeter. Gurley crosses over, steps back into a three. That one's no good. A rebound to the Warhawks. 0 for 10 now from the three-point line for the Raiders. It's Miles Barnstable now with it. Barnstable defended here by Darrell Newsom. Gives it over to Carter Capstrand. Capstrand looks to drive. It's a whistle and a foul going on Christian Parker. For Parker, that'll be his second, team's 9th. Carter Capstrand heads to the line now for the 1-and-1. Capstrand leading scorer here tonight so far at 11 points for Whitewater on 5 for 7 shooting.
I really hate that, I'm not going to lie. Early for the first 15 minutes of this game, they've been playing, the refs have been letting them play, letting a lot of things go. And lately, on both ends too, it's just been quick tic-tac fouls, giving dudes foul trouble.
Capstrand missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Raiders have it at the other end as Christian Parker backs down low in the post. Misses the first attempt, grabs his own miss, could not get the putback to go. Fight for the rebound. And we'll see what they call here on the floor. It looks like it could have went off Whitewater. The referees are going to talk things over. And no, they will say it's off of Mount Union. They'll say it was off Colin Gurley's fingertips. Ball back here to the Warhawks. And the referee now having a conversation, it appears, at the scorer's table. There's exactly 2 minutes left to go here in the half. Still appears it will be Whitewater basketball. It could just be a clock malfunction here. And we will have this brief stoppage in play now.
As neither side is going to like this call.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Very 50-50 ball over there.
And after the brief stoppage, they will indeed resume play here. Will remain Whitewater basketball. Miles Barnstable gets set to inbound. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way of this first half. Next foul will send Whitewater into the double bonus. Mount Union will shoot 1-1 on the next foul. As Miles Barnstable takes a screen from Capstrand. Now dribbles over into the corner. The double team nearly pays off there for the Raiders. They knock it out of bounds. It will remain Warhawk basketball. So Delvin Barnstable gets set to inbound it here. Colin Gurley defending. And off the inbound, he inbounds it to Miles Barnstable. His foot was out of bounds, and it will be Purple Raider basketball.
This is a really big minute 44. Mount Union score, stop, score, going in. Cut the lead 10-12. Got to do your best here. Put some points on the board.
So Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. Backing Fisher down low in the post. Mansfield goes up with the layup and draws the whistle. The foul there is going on Drew Fisher. For Fisher, that'll be his first, team's 8th. Jeffrey Mansfield to the line now for 2.
And there's been a lot of frustration from the 6'3" senior tonight. He's not been getting a lot of calls, and it's showing. It's showing a little bit in his face here. He's not getting a lot of things to go, and it's frustrating. And then on the other end, he's not getting calls to go his way. He's been getting hammered every time he rolls to the paint and just not having it. So, like I said, they're letting him play, not letting him play. Keep going between that back and forth, and I can see the frustration. I feel the frustration.
So Mansfield gets the first free throw to go. Can't get the second. Offensive rebound though. Christian Parker's putback's no good. Another offensive rebound, this time to Braden Poole. Nearly has it taken away. Gives it up to Parker, who steps into the 3. It's too strong. Raiders had 3 opportunities there. Couldn't get it to go. And a whistle and a foul going on Colin Gurley. That's a big one. That'll be Gurley's 3rd personal foul here with 1:20 left to go in the half. And that will send the Warhawks to the free throw line for 2.
Christian Parker with 3. Colin Gurley with 3. They better play a safe second half, because that's 2 guys that you really do not want in foul trouble, especially in the first half.
It's Elijah Lambert will shoot 2 here. First one's up and good. It will be 38-22 now in favor of the Warhawks. Logan Hill and Chris Painter Jr. check back in for the Raiders as Parker will take a seat with his 2 fouls and Colin Gurley with his 3. As Elijah Lambert gets set now for the second free throw attempt. That one's up. That one's no good. Rebound, Darrell Newsome. Raiders looking to cut into the deficit here. Down 38-22 with 1:14 left to go in the half. As Mansfield drives, gives it up to a cutter, and Braden Poole.
What a pass.
What a pass indeed, as Braden Poole now has 10 points, makes it 38-24 Whitewater.
And we've seen that vision from him all year long.
Braden Poole 5 for 6 from the floor. He's got 10 points and 7 rebounds in this first half, as Miles Barnstable at the other end steps into a 3. An ice-cold 3-pointer right there from Miles Barnstable makes it 41-24. Mansfield now looks to drive at the other end. He goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go, but he draws another whistle. Another strong take there by Jeffrey Mansfield. Slow to get up after the play. He's holding his head. He still remains down on the floor. Will now be helped up by Darrell Newsome. It looks like he will be okay. So good sight to see there. Mansfield's heading back to the line now for 2. As that foul is going on Carter Capstrand. For Capstrand, that will be his first, team's 9th. So Mansfield to the line here for 2 more. First free throw is up. That one's good. 41-25. Seeing his first action here tonight is the freshman from Pickerington High School, Corey Hudson, or he will actually wait here with Mansfield, getting ready to sub in for Mansfield, I should say. As Mansfield gets set now, second free throw attempt. That one's good. So 2 for 2 from the line. Mansfield's going to take a seat. And now indeed the freshman from Pickerington High School in Columbus, Ohio, number 1, Corey Hudson, will check in for the first time tonight for the Purple Raiders.
Big stage for the freshman.
As 40 seconds left to go here in the half. About an 11-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Miles Barnstable now with it. He's defended by Darrell Newsome. Now steps into a 3. That one's short. Long rebound, though, to Delvin Barnstable. His putback is up and no good. A whistle, and it's a late whistle. And, oh, boy, not too sure about that one, ladies and gentlemen. The foul's going on Logan Hill. That will be his first. And in the double bonus situation, Delvin Barnstable to the line for 2. I don't normally complain about calls, BK, but I'm a little bit puzzled on that one.
I'm biting my tongue over here. For those of you watching, he just called that from the opposite side court, from the opposite side block with 3 people crowding it. I don't know how he saw it. I'm sitting over here on this side, and I barely saw it.
Barnstable misses the first and misses the second. JT Hointick checked back in for the first time here tonight, I should say, for Whitewater. The shot clock's turned off. The Raiders are going to hold it here for the final shot. It's Corey Hudson now with it. He is defended by Drew Fisher. Hudson looks up at the clock. It's now 8 seconds here on the game clock. He looks to drive. Hudson goes to the rim for 2. Can't get it to go. Put back that was up and good from Logan Hill. 41-28. The Warhawks can't get a shot up. And it was a rough first half, ladies and gentlemen, but that was a great finish there for the Purple Raiders. Logan Hill's put back cuts the deficit down to 13. BK, your overall thoughts on that first half, and what does Mount Union have to do to get back in this one?
Well, the first things first, obvious, you got to shoot the 3 ball better than you have. 0 for 11, 0%. They're shooting it at 5 for 11, almost at 50%. Trays are a big part of this game now. It's part of the evolution of this game, and you really need to be able to hit the 3. Not to say they're not going to come out in the second half and do it, but they haven't in this first one. So take a deep breath in halftime, talk about a little adjustments. I'm sure Feline's going to fix the whole hedge to switch ratio off these screens and off this downhill offense. Whitewater, shooting almost 50% from 3 and 60% from the field is really hard to maintain all game. So they're going to have a downturn here at some point in the second half, and Mount Union has to do everything in their power to capitalize on those downturns and score points. It is not that far off. It's a 13-point game. Very, very close. Mount Union is a team that can score in droves. We've seen it time and time and time again. So nothing to worry about, but need a solid start to the second half. Cannot come out flat.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Raiders shot just 29% overall from the floor, 12 for 41 overall, 0 for 11 from the three-point line as well, and 4 for 7 from the free throw line. Braden Poole led the Raiders in that first half with 10 points and 7 rebounds on 5 for 6 shooting overall from the floor. Meanwhile, for Whitewater, Carter Capstrand led the way with 11 points for the Warhawks as they shot 57% overall from the floor, 45% from deep. But here at the halftime break in Fort Wayne, Indiana, it's 41-28 in favor of Wisconsin Whitewater. We're going to send it back to the station now for a replay of our Final Four preview show, but we'll be back here momentarily for second half action between Mount Union and Whitewater. And then there were 4. For the first time in school history, the Mount Union Purple Raider men's basketball team is in the Final Four. The Raiders join the Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks, the Christopher Newport Captains, and the Swarthmore Garnet, who are all on a quest for a national championship. The journey to Fort Wayne has been historic so far, and the Raiders will look for more history with 2 more victories and a national championship. My name is Jacob Buttar, and before tonight's semifinal game, we will take a look at all 4 teams remaining here on 91.1 WRMU. The first Final Four matchup of the night will feature the Swarthmore Garnet going up against the Christopher Newport Captains. For the Garnet, they come into tonight's matchup at 28-3 overall, making their 7th tournament appearance in school history and their 2nd Final Four, as the team finished runners-up in 2019, while Christopher Newport enters tonight's matchup also at 28-3 overall, making their 26th appearance in the NCAA tournament to go along with their 3rd Final Four. The second matchup of the night will feature the Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks going up against your Mount Union Purple Raiders. Whitewater enters tonight's matchup 25-7 overall, making their 22nd tournament appearance in school history to go along with their 6th Final Four, as the Warhawks have won 4 national championships in 1984, 1989, 2012, 2014, and they finished as runner-ups in 1983, while the Mount Union Purple Raiders enter tonight's matchup 29-2 overall, making their 5th tournament appearance in school history to go along with their 1st Final Four appearance. First, taking a closer look at Swarthmore, the Garnet are led by head coach Landry Kosmalski, who's in his 11th season as the head coach here at Swarthmore. He's making his 7th tournament appearance as well as the head coach for the Garnet, and his 2nd Final Four as well, as the school to this point to get to the Final Four, defeated SUNY Delhi 93-64 in the first round, and followed that up with a second round victory over St. John's Fisher 101-78, then defeated Keene State 82-58 in the Sweet 16, then won a thriller against Nichols College in the Elite 8 78-77, capped off by a Michael Caprice game-winning shot with under 9 seconds left to go in that matchup. The Garnet have been led in scoring all season by Vinny D'Angelo, who averages 17.4 points per game to go along with 3.3 assists, as D'Angelo was named the Centennial Conference Player of the Year and first team member. He was also named the D3Hoops.com Region 5 Player of the Year, while George Visconti is second in scoring at 14.3 points per game and averaging a team-high 3.4 assists per contest, as Visconti was named to the Centennial Conference All-Second Team. Michael Caprice averages 10.3 points per game to go along with the team-high 8.1 rebounds, as Caprice was named to the D3Hoops.com All-Region 5 Third Team, while head coach Landry Kosmalski was named the D3Hoops.com All-Region 5 Coach of the Year. George Visconti has led the team in scoring throughout their tournament run, averaging 17.3 points per game, while Michael Caprice has led the team in rebounds per game at 6.5 rebounds per contest to go along with the team-high 1.5 blocks per game, and he's shooting a team-high 73.5% from the field throughout the tournament so far, while Vinny D'Angelo has led the team in assists at 5.5 assists per game, and he's also shooting 53% from the three-point line. Taking a look at their opponent, the Christopher Newport Captains. The Captains are led by head coach John Krikorian, who's in his 12th season as the head coach at Christopher Newport, and he's making his 9th tournament appearance to go along with his 3rd Final Four appearance as the head coach for the Captains. And to get to this point, Christopher Newport defeated Farmingdale State in the first round in a close matchup, 61-60, followed that up with a victory over Hampton Sydney by a final score of 72-59, then defeated Mary Hardin Baylor in the Sweet 16, 72-60, and capped that off with a 76-70 victory over Wheaton in the Elite 8, as coming into tonight's matchup, the Captains have 13 straight victories to their name. The Captains have been led in scoring this season by John Hines, who has averaged a team-high 17.1 points per game to go along with 5.5 rebounds per contest, while Trey Barber has averaged 12.8 points per game to go along with a team-high 7.9 rebounds per game, as both Barber and Hines were named to the Coast to Coast All-First Team this season. They were also named to the D3Hoops.com All-Region 6 First Team as well, while Matthew Brody has averaged 11.8 points per game this year for Christopher Newport. He was named to the Coast to Coast Conference All-Second Team with those honors here this season, while head coach John Krikorian was named the All-Region 6 Coach of the Year by D3Hoops.com. The Captains have been led in scoring throughout the NCAA tournament by John Hines, who has averaged 16 points per contest, while Trey Barber leads the team in rebounds per game at 10.8 rebounds per game to go along with 3.3 blocks per game, leading the team in that category, and also shooting a team-high 60% overall from the floor, while point guard Ty Henderson has led the team in assists per game at 4.5 assists per game throughout the tournament. He's also shooting 38% from the three-point line and 88% from the free throw line. Now taking a look at Wisconsin Whitewater, the Warhawks are led by head coach Pat Miller, who's in his 22nd season as the head coach for the Warhawks. He's making his 10th tournament appearance overall and his 3rd Final Four appearance as the head coach for Whitewater, as Miller has won 2 national championships back in 2012 and 2014 for Whitewater. As to get to this point, the Warhawks defeated Wabash in the first round by a final score of 90-83, then followed that up with a win over Case Western in the second round, 78-75. They won an overtime thriller over Johns Hopkins in the Sweet 16, 83-82. Then they were just able to outlast Oswego State in the Elite 8 by a final score of 77-74. On the season, it's been the freshman Miles Barnstable who has led the team in scoring at 16.2 points per contest, as Barnstable was named the WIAC Newcomer of the Year and also as a member of the All-WIAC team this season. And for his contributions as well, Miles Barnstable was named the All-Region 9 Rookie of the Year and first team member by D3Hoops.com. Trevon Chisholm has averaged 15.7 points per game this year for the Warhawks, to go along with 4.6 rebounds per game, as he too was named to the All-WIAC team. Meanwhile, Delvin Barnstable has averaged 11.9 points per game and a team-high 6.2 rebounds per contest, while guard Jameer Barker has averaged 3 assists per game to lead the team in that category, as both Delvin Barnstable
and Jameer Barker were named to the All-WIAC Honorable Mention. So far this NCAA tournament, it's been Miles Barnstable who's led the team in scoring at 22.3 points per game to go along with shooting 54% from the three-point line and 91% overall from the free throw line, while Delvin Barnstable has led the team in rebounds per contest at 10.8 rebounds per game to go along with a block and a half per game as well, and Jameer Barker has led the team in assists per contest at 3 assists per game so far this postseason for Wisconsin Whitewater. And last but certainly not least, taking a look at your Mount Union Purple Raiders, who are led by head coach Mike Feuline, who's in his 12th season as the head coach here at the University of Mount Union. Coach Feuline is making his 4th tournament appearance overall and the first Final Four appearance in the school's history. As to get to this point, Mount Union defeated Anderson in the first round 73-65 and followed that up with a 90-66 victory in the second round over Lancaster Bible College. And in the Sweet 16, they had a come-from-behind victory over North Park, 102-85, before defeating Wisconsin Oshkosh 78-67 in the Elite Eight, led by Christian Parker, who finished with 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 blocks. The Raiders have been led in scoring this season by Christian Parker, who has averaged 18.5 points per game to go along with the team-high 8.3 rebounds per game, as Parker was named the OAC Player of the Year and selected to the conference's All-First Team. He was also named the D3Hoops.com All-Region 7 Player of the Year and First Team member as well in that category, while Colin Gurley has averaged 14.5 points per game for the Raiders this season. Gurley was named to the All-OAC First Team as well as the All-Region 7 Second Team by D3Hoops.com. Darrell Newsome has averaged 10.5 rebounds per game and been the defensive leader for the Purple Raiders, as Newsome was named the OAC Defensive Player of the Year and also selected to the All-OAC Honorable Mention Team. Jeffrey Mansfield averaged around 10 points per game, 4.8 rebounds per game, and 3.1 assists per game for the Purple Raiders, while Braden Poole has averaged 5.1 rebounds per contest for Mount Union this season. Both Poole and Mansfield were also selected to the All-OAC Honorable Mention, while head coach Mike Feuline was named the D3Hoops.com All-Region 7 Coach of the Year. The Raiders have been led all throughout the NCAA tournament in scoring by Christian Parker, who has averaged 22.8 points per game to go along with the team-high 11.3 rebounds per contest and 3.8 blocks per game as well, while Jeffrey Mansfield has led the team in assists at around 5.5 assists per game. Colin Gurley has led the team in steals at 2.5 steals per contest, as well as free throw percentage at 80%, and he's tied with Darrell Newsome for the team lead in three-point percentage at 43% so far in the tournament, while Chris Painter Jr. has led the team overall in shooting from the floor at a 67% clip. Only 4 teams remain, and one will be crowned the national champion. After tonight's semifinal games conclude, the winners of both semifinal matchups will meet up in Fort Wayne, Indiana at 4 p.m. on Saturday to compete for the national championship. We wish the Mount Union Purple Raiders the best of luck on their quest for their first championship in school history. Make sure to follow all Final Four news here on 91.1 WRMU as we bring it to you live from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
At the University of Mount Union, your experience is tailored to your journey. Our wide array of scholarship and financial aid offerings reward you for your achievements. Combining traditional classroom learning with real-world, hands-on experiences, Mount Union prepares you to be successful. You'll get individual attention from faculty who are committed to preparing you for success.
Be you. Be exceptional. Be one of us. At the University of Mount Union. Schedule your visit today at mountunion.edu.
And we are back here at Allen County War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The men's Final Four here tonight, as at the halftime break, your Mount Union Purple Raiders trailing the Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks by a score of 41-28. As again, my name is Jacob Buttar. Alongside me is my partner, Brennen Kerns, and BK. Really just a rough first half there from the Purple Raiders. They were struggling to shoot the ball. They got out-rebounded as well. Whitewater, meanwhile, definitely shooting the lights out so far at 57% overall. But really, what are the keys here for the Purple Raiders? What do they need to start doing right now to make a comeback in this one?
All right, so the way I see it is 3 things. First of all, you kind of almost have to hope that Whitewater does not shoot like they just did in the first half. That is one heck of a scoring first half. Secondly, you got to be able to hit from range. We have a lot of really good shooters that play on this team, and one thing that Mount Union does really well is excels off the three-point line. They bring so much momentum to the table when they're hitting threes, getting back to transitions. So that's number 2. Number 3, and I really hope that Feline hit on this in the locker room, is how they're switching screens, because Whitewater consistently on every possession is getting downhill to the basket. And what that forces people to do is either A, help, and then leave wide open threes, which they're hitting at a 45% rate. That's not something you want to let to happen. Or B, you have to deny the 3 ball, let him drive downhill, and then you're seeing what we're seeing with Christian Parker, Colin Gurley. Dudes are getting into foul trouble, Braden Poole. Then you're relying on your interior defense to stop that, in which the refs are not being consistent at all in that aspect. So if I'm Feline, I'm hedging all of these screens and all of these downhill motions to make the guards move back down towards the 3-point line, make frustrating throws down to the post, congested, a lot of hands in there, make them make plays. They haven't been making a lot of solid plays that we're doing. They're not doing anything majorly offensively. So a really, really strong defensive half from Mount is going to come up and bring a lot of momentum for us to start scoring. That's what we're going to have to see.
That's for sure. I agree. I think defense turns to offense here for the Raiders. You have to slow down Whitewater at one end. Again, shooting 57% overall from the floor. For the Purple Raiders, definitely got to start knocking down the 3 ball as well. 0 for 11 in that first half for Mount Union. Very uncharacteristic. I really think you got to see Colin Gurley, Darrell Newsom really step up here, hit a 3-point shot to get this team energized. The Raiders will have the ball here out of the halftime break. It will be the starting 5s for both squads. Jeffrey Mansfield, Colin Gurley, Darrell Newsom, Christian Parker, and Braden Poole out there for the Raiders. For Whitewater, it'll be Jameer Barker, Miles Barnstable, Delvin Barnstable, Carter Capstrand, and Trevon Chisholm. Underway here in the second half as Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. Mansfield feeds it down low to Christian Parker. Parker looks to go to work here in the post, backing his man down, goes up for the layup, and that's a nice start there for the Raiders as Christian Parker draws the personal, backing down Carter Capstrand. That'll be Capstrand's second, team's first, and Christian Parker back to the line.
This would be really big. You put both down here, send them down by 11.
Parker had 9 points and 5 rebounds in that first half. 1 for 2 from the line in the first half. Makes the first. Makes it 41-29. Christian also shot 4 for 12 overall from the floor. As Parker will get set now for his second free throw. Second one's up, and that one rims out, no good. So score will remain 41-29 as Miles Barnstable with it here. He is defended by Darrell Newsom. Around the perimeter they go now to Chisholm. Chisholm gives it up to Capstrand. Parker nearly comes away with the steal. Capstrand now swings it over to Barnstable, steps into a 3. That's in and out, no good. Rebound to Mansfield. He gives it up to Christian Parker on the break. Parker goes coast to coast to the rim for 2. It's a 10-point ball game, 41-31.
It's exactly the kind of start that they needed.
Here comes Jameer Barker at the other end. He's defended by Jeffrey Mansfield. Gives it up to a cutter and Delvin Barnstable. Barnstable goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go. Rebound Braden Poole. It'll be Mansfield now with it. Defended by Barker. Takes a screen from Christian Parker. Now swings it out to him for the 3 on the pick and pop. That's no good. A rebound to the Warhawks. It's Miles Barnstable who looks to drive now. Pulls it back out. Gives it over to Chisholm. Chisholm now feeds it up top. And it'll be Jameer Barker with it. Barker takes a screen from Capstrand, drives, gives it up to Capstrand on the roll, layups in and out, rebound Christian Parker.
Man, maybe it's that rim.
41-31 as Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. Mansfield looks to drive here on Barker, kicks it up top to Braden Poole. Poole pump fakes, goes to the rim for 2, couldn't get the layup. A rebound to the Warhawks. That would have been a big one there for the Raiders, would have cut the deficit down to single digits. Miles Barnstable now with it. Takes a screen from Capstrand. Now steps into the mid-range. Can't get it to go. One-handed rebound for Christian Parker. It's a one-on-one break here. Now he gives it up to Darrell Newsom. Newsom goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go. Rebound once again to Barnstable. Raiders just missing some shots they normally make. Some good looks there. Just couldn't get it to drop. Jameer Barker now picks up his dribble. Swings it over in the corner. It's Delvin Barnstable. Steps into a 3 and he knocked it down. Delvin Barnstable from downtown makes it 44-31. Jeffrey Mansfield now with it for the Purple Raiders. Mansfield will feed it to Christian Parker down low inside. Parker goes to work. Defended here by Capstrand, goes up with the shot, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Chisholm comes up with it. It's a whistle. It's actually going to be a loose ball foul going on Trevon Chisholm. For Chisholm, that'll be his third, team's second of the half. And they'll remain Raider basketball. Chisholm will take a seat with those 3 fouls. Elijah Lambert checks back in now for Whitewater. 17:30 left to go in this one. Off the inbound, it's Christian Parker now with it. Parker goes up with the shot and gets it to go. 44-33 in favor of the Warhawks. Whitewater coming with it the other way here. Lambert picks up his dribble. Looking where to go with it. Defended closely here by Braden Poole, and it's a 5-second violation. And boy, is it getting loud in here, ladies and gentlemen, as Lambert wanted to get it over to Jameer Barker, but he was defended closely by Jeffrey Mansfield, and he gets called for the 5-second violation. Raider basketball here. As Mansfield will be picked up the full 94 by Jameer Barker. Gives him a smile as he dribbles up the floor. Mansfield now weaves his way through the defense, goes to the rim for 2, can't get it to go. Grabbed his own miss, goes back up for the layup and draws the whistle. Great hustle there from Jeffrey Mansfield. Mansfield's back to the line for 2 more.
We like the energy that we're seeing from Jeffrey Mansfield. And back to that last possession, you don't realize how big things like charges, 5 seconds, 10 seconds when you're pressing in the backcourt really are to the momentum shifts of basketball. Capitalizing on this, capitalizing on the next defensive possession to a next score, and all of a sudden you're looking at a 3-possession game.
That foul goes on Carter Capstrand, his third, team's third. Mansfield gets the first free throw to go. It's 44-34 now in favor of the Warhawks. Mansfield's second free throw is up, and that one's good. Mansfield now 5 for 6 from the free throw line. That's where all 5 of his points have come from tonight. It's now 44-35. Jameer Barker now with it. Defended closely here once again by Mansfield. Crosses him over, now takes a screen from Capstrand. Swings it up top to Lambert. Lambert looks to drive here on Braden Poole. Pump fakes. Goes up with the fadeaway. Couldn't get it to go. Great defense there by Poole as he comes away with the rebound. Mansfield gives it up to Colin Gurley. Gurley in transition now. Stops, drives, goes up to the rim for 2, and he gets it to go. Colin Gurley cuts it to 7. It's 44-37.
And here come those Purple Raiders.
Mount Union on an 8-0 run here. As Miles Barnstable now swings it over in the corner to Barker. Barker, jab step, steps into a 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Braden Poole once again. Poole with the double-double now. 10 points, 10 rebounds. Jeffrey Mansfield has it. Defended here by Barker. Feeds it to Christian Parker down low in the post. Parker looking to go to work. Trying to go baseline. Goes up with the layup, and he got it to go. Christian Parker cuts it to a 5-point Whitewater lead.
Show him what a weight room is, Christian Parker.
Jameer Barker now walks it up the floor for the Warhawks. Once up by 20 points in this one. It's now a 5-point lead. Elijah Lambert now gives it up to Delvin Barnstable. He steps into a 3 and he knocked it down at the top of the key. Delvin Barnstable gives the Warhawks the 47-39 advantage. Mansfield now pushes the pace here for the Raiders. He drives. Now steps back out. Mansfield once again will feed it here to Christian Parker. Parker looking to go to work once more. He's got 16 points here tonight. Goes up with the hook shot. Can't get it to go. Grabbed his own miss. Can't get the putback to go. A rebound here to Elijah Lambert. Lambert's defended closely here by Gurley. They need to get this up past half court. As Barker continuing to walk up the court, a near 10-second violation. He's just able to get it up. Barker now swings it down low inside to Elijah Lambert. Lambert looks to drive here on Braden Poole, but he's cut off. Now he swings it back out to Barker. Barker with 6 on the shot clock. Steps back into a contested 3, and he knocked it down. Cold-blooded there from Jameer Barker, makes it 50-39. It's Jeffrey Mansfield now with it, crosses over Barker at the other end, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go, grabbed his own miss, goes up for the layup, couldn't get that one to go. That's a rebound for him and a foul going on Miles Barnstable. Barnstable will be called for second personal foul, 4th team foul, first media timeout, and boy, PK, what an interesting start here to the second half. 50-39 in favor of Whitewater, but the Raiders certainly coming out with a lot more energy.
I'm still holding my breath over here. It's I love what I'm seeing from Mount Union. Came out exactly how we said they needed to. Nothing flat-footed, coming on all energy. Whitewater's hit, I want to say, some lucky threes in this second possession. They're not getting a whole lot to go inside. Keep forcing them to shoot that three ball. If they want to win this game, they better keep shooting it at the 50% marker, which is not something that is easy to do. But Mount Union already climbing back. They've already put up almost double the points they had at this point in the first half. So as long as they keep rolling, keep finishing at the rim, one of these threes got to fall eventually. But shooting it 0 for 12 is not in Mount Union's wheelhouse to win games. So that needs to change. But from here, down 11, 14:30 to play. Nothing to be worried about, but got to be quick, but not in a hurry.
Yeah, that's for sure. Still a lot of basketball left to be played here. 14:30 left in this one. It's 50-39 in favor of Wisconsin Whitewater. Purple Raiders still yet to hit a three ball in this game. Definitely proving to be the difference maker as Whitewater has hit 8 3-pointers in this game alone. 3 in the second half as well for them. But the Raiders certainly fighting back here and making this game an interesting one. Jeffrey Mansfield's going to head to the line here for 2 out of the break. It's no substitutions for either squad. So Mansfield back to the free throw line for free throw attempts 7 and 8 here tonight. First one's up. That one's good. 50-40 in favor of Whitewater. So Mansfield will get set now with the second free throw attempt. That one's up. And that one's good as well. So back to single digits. It's 50-41. The Raiders come out here in a press. Barnstable just able to inbound it to Barker, who gives it up to Lambert. They're able to break it here as Elijah Lambert pulls it back out. And Jameer Barker will get the offense set. Barker swings it over to Capstrand, now over to Elijah Lambert. Lambert gives it up to Barker down low inside, a whistle, and it's a foul going on. Braden Poole, that's a big one. That's his third, team's first. It appeared from down here Poole might have gotten the block, but they will say he got him with the body. And that will be Jameer Barker now heading to the line for 2.
I mean, couldn't be more straight up on that. I understand the body fouls, but if you're going to call that a body foul, I've got about 50 other possessions that I could be pointing out to you right now.
As Barker misses the first free throw, now BK Whitewater shooting 4 for 13 overall from the free throw line as he splits the pair. It's now 5 for 14 from the free throw line. It's 51-41 in favor of the Warhawks. Chris Painter Jr. will check back in for the Raiders as Braden Poole will take a seat with those 3 fouls. Mansfield will walk it up the floor for the Purple Raiders. Defended here by Barker. He now takes a screen from Christian Parker as Mansfield feeds it down low inside to Parker, goes to the rim for 2 and gets it to go. It's 51-43. Parker now with 18 points here tonight on 8 for 20 from the floor. As Delvin Barnstable at the other end looks to drive, swings it back out to Barker, who steps into a 3, and he knocked it down. Jameer Barker once again from downtown makes it 54-43. Mansfield now with it. Take a screen from Christian Parker, now drives into the paint, gives it up to Parker on the roll. Beautiful basketball right there as Christian Parker to the rim for 2.
Keep feeding 22 the ball.
Parker had 9 points at the halftime break. He's already got 11 in the second half for his game-high 20 points. It's Jameer Barker now with it. He looks to drive on Mansfield, goes up with the layup, has it blocked by Mansfield. As Chris Painter Jr. dribbles his way through the defense here, gives it up to Newsom, thought about the 3, now gives it up to Mansfield, tried to feed it down low inside to Parker. It's knocked back into the hands of Mansfield, now over to Painter for the 3. That's no good. Fight for the rebound, and the Warhawks come up with it. Mount Union still 0 for from the free throw line, the 3-point line, my apologies here. So Elijah Lambert gives it over to Carter Capstrand. Capstrand tried to feed it over to Delvin Barnstable. Newsom came up with the steal, but it's called for the reach. Darrell Newsom is going to be called here for his second personal foul. Second foul of the half here for Mount Union. Trevon Chisholm checks back in now for the Warhawks. It's Jameer Barker now with it. Holding on to a 9-point lead here, 54-45, 12:44 left to go in this one. It's Barker Looks to drive here on Mansfield. Goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound nearly there for Chisholm, but Chris Painter Jr. comes away with it. Colin Gurley now with it for the Purple Raiders. Gurley steps into the transition three. It's no good. Rebound to Chisholm. Just simply not falling here tonight from the three-point line. As Jameer Barker now with it. Barker's defended here by Colin Gurley. Picks up his dribble, swings it over in the corner to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable looks to drive here on Newsom. Feeds it back out to Elijah Lambert. Lambert tried to feed it down low inside, but it's taken away by Christian Parker. Parker goes ahead of the pack, goes to the rim for two. Can't get it to go. A rebound to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable up ahead, gives it over to Chisholm. Chisholm feeds it down low inside to Delvin Chisholm. He can't get his layup to go. A whistle. They'll say it's out of bounds going back to the Purple Raiders. 11:52 left to go in this one. It's a media timeout. Raiders still clawing back. It's 54-45 in favor of Whitewater.
I mean, say what you want right now. If you're Mount Union, the pressure's on Whitewater right now. There is not a lot of pressure on you. Obviously, you're the one who's down, but you're the one who's pushing the fight. They're the ones who have to keep defending and keep scoring, and that's in the back of their head. As Mount, you just need to go. Go, 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 go. And that's what the energy level in this is what's going to differentiate these last 11 minutes and 52 seconds. You're down 9. Your whole season's on the line. It's time to put everything you got into this, and they clearly are. All the energy's there. They just need to start getting a few things to fall, maybe a 3, just maybe, and some fouls go their way. All of a sudden, you're gonna look 2-3 possession game. That's when you need to keep fighting, just putting it down. There's not a lot more you can do when you're not getting calls to the rim that you need, and you're taking good shots. They've taken, I would say, of the 14 threes Mount Union's missed, I would argue that 10 of those were great shots. Just not falling.
That's true. They oftentimes say, like in the NBA, for example, it's a make-or-miss league, and right now that's truly the case. Mount Union, I agree with you. They're coming up with a lot of good three-point shot attempts. They're just simply not falling. They're missing right now for them. If some of those start to fall, totally different ball game here. So Mount Union continuing to put the pressure on. I agree with you on that as well. All the pressure in the world on Whitewater right now. The Raiders are really coming at them hard here, and they will try to make the comeback a reality.
I mean, all Mount Union really needs to do is try to shoot their average from 3. They'll be winning this game right now.
As out of the timeout, Mansfield walks up the floor. Drew Fisher checked in for Whitewater at that last stoppage in play. Mansfield looks to direct the offense here. He will now drive, backs down Fisher down low in the post. Mansfield spins out of it, goes up for the layup, and gets it to go. Jeffrey Mansfield cuts the deficit down to 7. It's 54-47, the first field goal tonight for Jeff. He's 1 for 9 now from the floor. As Lambert on the perimeter, gives it over to Fisher, but it's taken away by Mansfield. Mansfield, 1-on-2 break here, goes up for the layup, couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound to Chris Painter Jr., his putback's no good. Christian Parker gets the extra effort once more. Can't get that one to go. The Raiders just can't seem to buy a layup, but Parker drew the whistle. Is heading to the free throw line for 2.
The free throw line might be saving them here.
Is that foul on Drew Fisher, his second, team's 5th. Christian Parker to the line for 2. Parker gets set here for free throw number 1. That one's good. 54-48. Jameer Barker checks back in now for Whitewater. So Parker will get set for his second free throw attempt here.
Make this, it's a 2-possession game, Christian.
And that one's good. It's 54-49 in favor of Whitewater. Again, the Raiders trim the deficit down to 5.
And here's where your Purple Raiders shine in this last 10 minutes of the second half.
Miles Barnstable gives it over to Delvin Barnstable. Delvin Barnstable now hands it off to Jameer Barker. Great defense here by Chris Painter Jr. as Barker is forced to step back here. Takes a screen from Chisholm, gives it up to him on the roll. Chisholm goes to the rim for 2, can't get it to go. Tipping, though, is good. Elijah Lambert comes in with the offensive rebound. 56-49, Whitewater, 10:42 left to go in this one. As it's Mansfield who looks to drive. Takes a screen from Parker, now steps into the mid-range, and it's nothing but net from Jeffrey Mansfield.
And they needed him tonight.
It's been a cold shooting night. He's just 2 for 11 from the floor, but he's got 11 points. Jeffrey Mansfield makes it 56-51 Whitewater. Around the perimeter now, Delvin Barnstable feeds it down low inside to Lambert. Lambert goes up to the rim, can't get it to go. A rebound to the Raiders.
Lucky break there, needed it.
Colin Gurley now with it for Mount Union. Gurley looks to direct the offense here. He's going to take a screen once more from Christian Parker. Gurley now looks to drive into the paint, goes up for the layup, and gets it to go. Gurley cuts the deficit to 3. It's 56-53. 9:48 and ticking. And a timeout here for Whitewater, and the Mount Union crowd erupts as the Raiders are the closest they've been in a long time. It's a one-possession ball game.
All right, well, we were talking about this in the pregame and at halftime. Mount Union is what we call a second-half team. They come to play in those last 20 minutes, and if you're not there for the fight, they will take it to you. This is something we've seen from Mount Union all year. So much grit on this team, a lot of veteran leadership, and they are just killing it. They've now moved from the switch. They're now switching that downhill offense that Whitewater is running. We saw it on that last possession with CPJ. He switched off 4 different times to that point guard, and then finally when the big comes up, Parker hedges. They have to make a really quick, tough throw inside, missed layup, back down to the other end, points. That's how good of a coach it shows that Mike Feline is, to be able to make these halftime adjustments and in-game adjustments to fix something that was so utterly broken in the first half that is now contributing down to this 3-point deficit that Mount Union is obtaining right now. So the energy in the building is pointing in that Purple Raiders direction.
That's for sure. The Raiders definitely with all the momentum, I would say, in this one right now, as they've cut the deficit down to 3. Mount Union, again, they trail by 13 at the halftime break. They've nearly scored as many points this half as they scored in that first half. 28 points in the first half, 25 now here in the second half for the Purple Raiders. They've outscored Whitewater 25-15 in this second half alone.
Doing all of that without hitting a single 3.
Yeah, that's one of the craziest things about this run here for the Purple Raiders, as no substitutions for either squad as they come out of here of the media timeout. It's Whitewater basketball. Miles Barnstable now with it. He is defended by Darrell Newsom. Gives it over to Elijah Lambert. Lambert defended closely by Colin Gurley. Gives it over to Chisholm. Chisholm now feeds it over to Delvin Barnstable. Delvin Barnstable up top to his brother Miles. Now back over to Delvin for the open 3. Couldn't get it to go. What a closeout there from Chris Painter Jr. As the Raiders have the ball, they can tie it or cut the lead down to 1. As Mansfield gives it up down low inside to Parker. He goes to the rim for 2. Christian Parker to the rim makes it 56-55 Whitewater. Barker feeds it over to Delvin Barnstable. Now over to Chisholm. Chisholm looks to drive here on Parker, and it's going to be a foul going on Christian. No basket there, as Parker's going to be whistled for his 3rd personal foul. And that will be the 2nd team foul of the half. No correction, 3rd team foul of the half. So the ball will remain here with the Warhawks. They're clinging on to just a 1-point advantage. As Barnstable inbounds it here to Barker. Barker tries to get it over to Chisholm. It's knocked back into the hands of Barker, though, who gets to the rim for 2. 58-55 Whitewater with 8:55 left to go in this one. It's Colin Gurley now with it. He's defended by Miles Barnstable. He gives it over to Christian Parker. Parker looking to go to work in the post once more. Goes up with the hook shot, and my, oh my, Christian Parker's feeling it. 26 points for Christian Parker, 17 in this second half alone. 58-57 as Chisholm feeds it up top to Miles Barnstable. Barnstable looks to drive, tries to feed it down low inside, but it's taken away by Gurley. Raiders looking for their first lead here tonight. It's Mansfield looking to feed it down low inside to Chisholm, and oh my, an offensive foul going on Christian Parker. That's Parker's 4th personal foul. He's going to take a seat with 8:23 left to go, and that's a big one. 4th team foul, 4th personal one on Christian. Whitewater will come the other way with it. And Coach Feline cannot believe it. As Jameer Barker walks it up the floor for the Warhawks. What a back and forth affair we have going on here right now. As Barker feeds it down low inside to Chisholm. Chisholm looks to go to work here on Mansfield. Goes up with a hook shot, can't get it to go. Rebound to Gurley. Raiders once again can take the lead here. It's Colin Gurley now with it. Takes a screen here from Braden Poole. Looks to drive. Goes up to the rim for two. He couldn't get it to go. Let's go. Collins good. Collins' putback is good, and Gurley gives the Raiders the 1-point lead.
First of the night.
59-58 Mount Union. Jameer Barker, defended here by Chris Painter Jr., has it knocked out from behind. It's a foul going on Chris Painter Jr. And a little extracurriculars after the play's over. Painter gets called for his first personal, 15th foul of the half. Media timeout, but the Raiders have stormed back. It's 59-58 Mount Union.
I'm going to stick with what I said earlier. I'm still sweating over here. It's this is one of the best games I've watched in Division III basketball. Just everything that has to do with it. And honestly, both teams right now are fighting with everything they have to win this game. It's starting to get really chippy. It's starting to get a little physical, and we might see a spur of fouls here called in the next. I can feel it just from the energy that's going on right now. There's a lot of physicality going down, but the losing Christian Parker to 4 fouls on an offensive one, more or less, trying to post up. Tough call to call on somebody who's got 26 points and 3 fouls. It's a big loss for the Purple Raiders, and now he has to play extremely careful, and then you put him in the game, they know exactly who to take the ball at.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's definitely a difficult situation here for the Raiders, as Parker will likely be on the bench here for an extended period, but they have stormed back here on top by 1, 59-58. It will be Whitewater ball. Out of the timeout is Delvin Barnstable, Miles Barnstable, as well as Carter Capstrand, Trevin Chisholm, as well as Jameer Barker out on the floor here for the Warhawks. For the Purple Raiders, Jeffrey Mansfield, Chris Painter Jr., Braden Poole, Darrell Newsome, and Colin Gurley out here for Mount Union. So an inbound here. Carter Capstrand has it. Capstrand looks to back down Braden Poole in the post, goes up with the hook shot and gets it to go, and the Warhawks regain the lead. 60-59, 7:32 left to go here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. A spot in the national championship game on the line as Mansfield looks to drive. Gives up to a backdoor cutter, and Chris Painter Jr. can't get the layup to go. Loose ball, they'll say it was last out of bounds right there on Whitewater, so it will remain Purple Raider basketball. CPJ will inbound it now for Mount Union. Inbounds it to Colin Gurley. Gurley off the inbound, steps into a 3, and got it! First one for the Raiders. Colin Gurley from downtown makes it 62-60 Mount Union.
Colin Gurley is solely giving them the momentum right now.
Miles Barnstable now with it. Defended closely here by Newsome. He drives, goes up for the layup, and he draws the whistle. Yeah. The foul there going on Braden Poole. That's a big one as well. Poole picks up his 4th personal foul. Barnstable's going to head to the line now for 2. Logan Hill's going to get set to check in here for the Raiders.
That's another big one, too, because now you got to put in Logan Hill, and you're sitting your 2 bigs on the bench playing small.
As Barnstable's first free throw is no good, the free throw struggles continue for the Warhawks. They're now 5 for 15 from the line as Logan Hill does indeed check in. Poole will take a seat.
You know, I'm not opposed to this smaller lineup. It's quick. They're going to get some transition points, play really hard on defense. I kind of like what Feline's seeing here.
So Miles Barnstable splits the pair. It's 62-61 Mount Union. Colin Gurley now with it. He steps into another 3. That time it's no good. Rebound Chisholm. Jameer Barker now with it. Barker defended here by Chris Painter Jr. He looks to drive, takes a screen from Capstrand, goes to the rim for 2, and draws another whistle. This time it's on Logan Hill. It will be his 2nd, team 7th. And that will send Jameer Barker to the line for 2. If he knocks them both down, Whitewater will regain the lead.
It seems as though the bigs are having trouble here tonight down low.
6:45 left to go in this one. As Barker heads to the line, can't hit the first. Again, continuing the struggle here from the free throw line. And Barker will get set for the 2nd free throw here, trying to tie things up at 62. Second one is up, and that one is good. So we have a tied ball game, 62 all here with 6:45 left to go. It's Chris Painter Jr. now with it for the Purple Raiders. Painter gives it up to Logan Hill. Hill is fouled here on the perimeter. This time it's on Trevon Chisholm, and that'll be Chisholm's 4th personal foul as well. So it'll be interesting to see how head coach Pat Miller handles that situation here, as 16 foul at a half. Chisholm will take a seat, and Elijah Lambert checks back in now for the Warhawks.
Remember we were just in that timeout, and I said we're going to see a whole lot of fouls here coming up. I knew it. It's almost that energy you can feel in the building.
So Whitewater will be defending here as Chris Painter Jr. gives it up to Jeffrey Mansfield. Mansfield now takes a screen here from Logan Hill. He's defended by Jameer Barker. Takes another screen now from Hill. Mansfield looks to drive, kicks it over to Newsom, now swings it over to Gurley. Gurley looks to drive here on Miles Barnstable, gets to the rim for 2. Colin Gurley take it over here in the second half.
A quiet first half from him, but he has come to life.
64-62, 13 points now for Gurley. Started out 1 for 8 in this one. He's hit 5 of his last 8 shots as Barker can't get that one to go. A rebound to Jeffrey Mansfield. Gurley has it here once more. Gurley crosses over once again, gets to the rim for 2, and he got it down. Colin Gurley makes it 66-62 Mount Union. Jameer Barker now with it. Barker takes a screen from Capstrand, now swings it over in the corner to Barnstable. Barnstable feeds it down low inside to Capstrand. Capstrand goes to work in the post, goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go, but it's another foul going here on the Purple Raiders. Once again, it'll be on Logan Hill, his 3rd, team's 8th.
I don't even know what to say to that. Did you just let him have the layup?
Yeah, it's one of those things, you either give up the layup or you make him earn it at the free throw line. I'm not opposed to it, to be completely honest, here with Whitewater's free throw struggles. As Capstrand knocks down the first free throw. Now with that make, they're just 8 for 19 from the free throw line.
You know, you're right. I like the way you're thinking.
As Trevon Chisholm does indeed check back in for Whitewater with those 4 personal. As Capstrand looks to cut into the deficit here and gets both of them to drop. It's 66-64 Mount Union, 5:35 left to go in this one. Mansfield gives it over to Colin Gurley. Gurley's defended here by Miles Barnstable. Gurley signals over for a Logan Hill screen. He takes it here. Gurley now looks to drive on Barnstable once more, goes to the rim for 2, can't get it to go. One-handed rebound by Logan Hill, whose putback is no good. Mansfield gets an offensive rebound now for the Purple Raiders. He goes up for the layup and draws the whistle and takes a hard fall. Mansfield is okay though, but he draws the whistle.
He is making me nervous going down that damn hard.
So it appeared he landed on his elbow a little awkwardly there. He's grabbing it now, but you definitely know Jeffrey Mansfield's not coming out of this ball game as Carter Capstrand picks up his 4th personal foul, 7th team foul of the half now for the Warhawks. So Mansfield's first free throw is up and no good. So the score remains 66-64 Mount Union. One more coming here for Mansfield. Mansfield's second free throw up, and that one's good. 3-point Mount Union lead, 67-64.
He's now 8 for 10 from the line.
It's Jameer Barker walking it up the floor now for the Warhawks. Barker takes the screen, now picks up his dribble, swings it over to Chisholm. Chisholm feeds it down low inside to Capstrand. Capstrand goes to work on Logan Hill, goes to the rim for 2 and gets it to go. What a nice move there. Carter Capstrand cuts the lead down to 1 now for the Raiders. 67-66 Mount Union. Jeffrey Mansfield here with it. Mansfield takes a screen from Logan Hill. He looks to drive. It's cut off by Barker, now swings it over to Painter. Back down low inside to Mansfield. It's a whistle, and it's another foul going on the Warhawks. That one's going on Jameer Barker. That'll be his 3rd,
He's going
team's 8th. 1-1 for Jeffrey Mansfield.
This is exactly who you want at the line, shooting your 1-and-1.
8 for 10 from the free throw line, 2 for 11 from the floor here tonight. Mansfield's got 12 points overall. His first shot is up and good. 68-66. Mansfield will get set for a second free throw attempt. Second one's up here for Jeff, and that one's good. 3-point ball game, 69-66, 4:30 left to go here. Jameer Barker walks it up the floor for the Warhawks. Braden Poole will get set to check back in for Mount Union. As Jameer Barker now swings it over to Chisholm. Chisholm feeds it down low to Carter Capstrand. Capstrand goes to work here on Logan Hill, goes up for the layup, and in and out, no good. Offensive rebound for Chisholm. It's a block there by Logan Hill, though. The Raiders will come away with it as Mansfield swings it over to Newsom. Newsom now back over to Mansfield. And the Raiders are just going to slow things down here. A screen from Logan Hill. Mansfield wants to drive and does. Mansfield goes to the rim for two. A whistle, no shot. It's a foul again going here on Jameer Barker, his fourth. And that will be the team's ninth. Mansfield's going to head to the line for a 1-and-1 after the next media timeout. 3:51 left to go. This game's up for grabs. It's 69-66 Mount Union.
Well, there's one thing you can say for sure. This is going to be a long 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Both teams equipped with timeouts and a lot of fouls being called. If you are Whitewater in this situation and you've been leading all game and come down to the last 6 minutes of the game and you lose your lead, it is increasingly hard to regain that confidence, regain that hope factor you had in the beginning. So this is where we're talking about the pressure was on Whitewater. They let up on the gas pedal. So now the pressure is even more on Whitewater because they let off the gas pedal and now somehow have to push it back down again. And Mount Union's had the gas pedal on full throttle since 15 minutes left in the second half. So got a lot of energy to match if you're the Warhawks.
That's for sure. It's really been a tale of two halves. In that first half, Whitewater shot 16 for 28 overall from the floor. Here in the second half, the Warhawks are only shooting 8 for 24 from the floor. Meanwhile, for Mount Union, they shot 12 for 41 in that first half, now 15 for 32 in the second half, good for 27 for 73 overall. It's really, the Purple Raiders have just come out of the halftime break just on a mission. Mount Union now has 19 offensive rebounds here in this game. They're out rebounding the Warhawks 43-36. And that's 19 offensive rebounds as well, with some of your top big men like Christian Parker and Braden Poole on the bench for a good majority now of the second half.
Not to mention a statistic that we don't get to talk about very often with this team, 14 for 19 from the free throw line. That is something that we talked about early, middle, and end of the season that is going to separate this team from a championship caliber defender to not, and clearly showing it here.
That's for sure, as like how BK mentioned, the Raiders are 14 for 19 from the free throw line. Whitewater just 9 for 20 from the free throw line. As Jeffrey Mansfield's going to get set here for the 1-and-1. Mansfield is 10 for 12 from the free throw line tonight. He's got 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. That free throw is good. 70-66 Mount Union. One more coming here for Jeff. Second free throw's up. That one's good. Raiders on top by 5. It's 71-66. Jameer Barker with it. Barker's defended by Chris Painter Jr. Now gives it over to Chisholm. Chisholm, a whistle, and it's a foul away from the ball. It's a foul going on Darrell Newsom. That'll be Newsom's third, team's ninth. That will send Miles Barnstable to the line for a 1-and-1. And Christian Parker will check back in here now for the Purple Raiders, playing with those 4 fouls as Braden Poole takes a seat with his 4 personal. Miles Barnstable to the line for the 1-and-1. Barnstable's 3 for 6 from the line tonight. First free throw's up and good. 71-67 Mount Union, 3:40 left to go in this one.
If the refs are turning this into a free throw shootout, it's looking good.
So Barnstable will get set for the second free throw. That one's good. It's a 3-point ball game, 71-68. Jeffrey Mansfield now with it. Defended here by Jameer Barker. As Mansfield looks to drive, picks up his dribble. Now looking where to go with it, swings it down low inside to Parker. Parker drew the double team momentarily, now goes to the rim here with the hook shot, can't get it to go, it's a whistle, and that'll be it for Carter Capstrand. Capstrand is fouled out of this ball game with 17 points. He's the leading scorer tonight for Whitewater, and Christian Parker is heading to the line for 2.
Yeah, he picked up 3 really fast. He picked up 3 in the last, I want to say, 5 minutes of this contest. 2 of which were Jeffrey Mansfield causing those, and he has been a problem all night for the Warhawks. We'll see what Christian Parker can do at the line.
So Parker, my apologies here, will be shooting 2 as that was the 10th team foul as well. First one's up and rims out no good. So score will remain 71-68, 3:21 left to go in this one. So the OAC Player of the Year, Christian Parker, with another double-double tonight, 26 points, 10 rebounds. Second one is up and good. 72-68 Mount Union. 2-possession ball game with 3:18 left to go. Jameer Barker now with it. Barker's defended here by Chris Painter Jr. Feeds it down low inside to Chisholm. What a catch by Chisholm as he gets to the rim for 2. 72-70 Mount Union. Approaching the 3-minute mark here with a spot in the national championship game on the line. Mansfield gives it up to Colin Gurley. Gurley, defended here by Barnstable, wants to feed it down low inside to Parker. Has it tipped right there by Barnstable, but Parker now has it on the perimeter. Parker now looks to go to work here on Elijah Lambert. Parker going into the paint, goes up with the hook shot, and my, Christian Parker. Talk to him, Christian. It's 74-70 Purple Raiders.
My God.
Jameer Barker now looks to drive, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, Trevon Chisholm, he gets the putback to go. 74-72, 2:21 left to go here. As Jeffrey Mansfield with it. Mansfield defended by Barker, just dribbling out some clock here. He looks to drive. Mansfield goes to the rim for 2, has it blocked by Chisholm. Offensive rebound, Colin Gurley. Chisholm down on the ground in pain. Now swings it over in the corner to Darrell Newsom, steps into a 3, that's short. Offensive rebound to Jeffrey Mansfield. He can't get it to go. A rebound near to Jameer Barker. As now it's out to Colin Gurley. He steps into a 3, can't get it to go. A whistle and a foul going here, I believe, on the Warhawks. And that was an interesting one, BK. Trevon Chisholm was down on the ground. It was a 4-on-5 for the Purple Raiders. He's still down on the ground. Now Darrell Newsom is in considerable pain for the Raiders, but he's back up under his own power. Chisholm remains on the floor. Can't believe they did not call an official timeout there. Chisholm appears to be grabbing his chest, so we hope that he's okay.
Rib.
He will remain in the contest here. The foul there goes on Elijah Lambert, his second. And the double bonus will send Darrell Newsom to the line for 2.
I haven't seen Darrell Newsom shoot a free throw in a little while.
First free throw for Darrell is up, and it's nothing but net. 1:46 left to go. It's 75-72. Braden Poole checks back in for the Raiders as CPJ takes a seat. Second one upcoming here for Darrell. Second one's up, and that one's good. 76-72, a timeout here for Coach Mike Feuline as the Raiders on top by 4. Just 1:46 left to go in this one.
So for those of you at home holding your breath right now, keep holding it. So it's going to be a long minute and 46 seconds, up 4. Mount Union's got to play some really, really strong defense. But not only that, they've been forcing misses. They're not getting the offensive rebounds as of late. Something we might see Feuline put in Braden Poole back in for, just to get some of those quick defensive rebounds when they need it. The free throw line been absolutely critical for the Purple Raiders here and absolutely crucial for Whitewater. This is going to be an interesting minute and 46 seconds.
Interesting is a great way to put it. The Raiders 22 offensive rebounds tonight. Just an incredible statistic there for Mount Union. What makes it even more incredible was really just the struggle in that first half. They were actually out-rebounded 25-21 in that first half. In this second half, they've only given up 12 rebounds. They've had 25 rebounds themselves, really just creating the extra possessions and really allowing the Raiders to make this comeback. And they're just a minute 46 away from a potential date with Christopher Newport in the national championship game. Whitewater will inbound it. Miles Barnstable gives it to Jameer Barker. Now back to Barnstable. Barnstable is defended closely here by Darrell Newsom. Barnstable looks to drive, swings it down low inside to Chisholm. Chisholm goes up for the layup, couldn't get it to go, but draws the whistle. That foul going on Colin Gurley. That'll be Gurley's 4th personal foul now. 10th team foul of the half. And that will send Trevon Chisholm to the line for 2. So Christian Parker, Braden Poole, and Colin Gurley all playing with 4 fouls now as Chisholm gets the first free throw to go. Chisholm now with 15 points, 6 rebounds tonight, to go along with 3 blocked shots. Can't get the second free throw to go. So it's now 76-73 Mount Union, a minute 33 left to go in this one. Jeffrey Mansfield has it. He's defended here by Barker. Mansfield crosses over Barker. Now drives, and it's another foul going on Barker. Jameer Barker has fouled out of this contest. Double bonus here. Jeffrey Mansfield to the line for 2. Barker can't believe it. But Mansfield's heading back to the line for free throw attempts number 15 and 16 tonight.
And as the Warhawks, that is the last dude you want to send to the line right now. 12 of 14.
So Barker takes a seat as his night is over. And that will send Drew Fisher back into the ball game. Carter Capstrand led the way for Whitewater here tonight with 17 points. Barker was pretty close behind him with 15, but both those two will have to sit and watch the rest of this contest from the bench as Mansfield gets the first free throw to go. 77-73 Mount Union, a minute 21 left to go. Second free throw here for Jeff. That one's up, and that's good.
Nothing but net.
78-73 Mount Union as Whitewater looks to make the comeback. It's Miles Barnstable now with it. Barnstable defended here by Newsom. Swings it up top to Elijah Lambert. Lambert looks to drive now, and Christian Parker goes to the rim for 2. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound, Braden Poole. Mansfield has it now as there's 1 minute left to go in this one. Raiders clinging to that 5-point advantage. Mansfield defended here by Lambert. Just going to kill some clock. 17 seconds on the shot clock, 49 seconds on the game clock. Mansfield looks to drive into the paint, nearly lost the handle. Feeds it down low inside to Parker. Parker goes up with the shot, can't get it to go. Put back no good there from Braden Poole. A rebound to Elijah Lambert. Whitewater coming with it the other way now is Delvin Barnstable with 34 seconds left to go. Feeds it down low inside to Chisholm. 30 seconds left as Chisholm goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go, but draws the whistle, and that's the 5th personal foul on Christian Parker. Parker fouls out of this game with 29 points and 11 rebounds tonight. Trevon Chisholm to the line now for 2. Parker gets a great ovation as he takes a seat. Chris Painter Jr. will check back in here for the Raiders. .29 seconds left, each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Both teams in the double bonus as well.
Can his squad do it for him, finish it off here tonight?
We shall see as Trevon Chisholm to the line for 2. Chisholm's 2 for 4 from the free throw line, as this team overall is 12 for 24 from the line. Couldn't even tell that it's a neutral site here, ladies and gentlemen, as the Raider fans have gotten rather loud here for this free throw, but Chisholm gets the first one to go. 78-74. One more coming here for Chisholm. Second one's up. That one's good. 3-point ball game, 78-75. Neither coach elects to use a timeout here. It's Gurley gets set to inbound it. Gurley inbounds it to Painter. It's nearly taken away, but Painter gets it up the court, and it's Darrell Newsom who gets to the rim for 2. 80-75 Mount Union. Miles Barnstable looks to drive, goes to the rim for the easy 2. It's 80-77, 21 seconds left to go here. And it's a timeout for Whitewater. Still anybody's ball game here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm still recovering from that last play.
Yeah, a gutsy pass right there from Colin Gurley. Chris Painter Jr. had to get very airborne for that one. Comes up with the catch and then is able to feed it to his teammate Darrell Newsom for the 2.
I've got to say this game is. I was thinking it from the start, but it's coming down to free throws. Mount Union needs to establish a really good press break for what they're going to come out here and get the ball to Jeff and get out the way.
Yeah, that's for sure. Expect Whitewater here to come out with the trap. Probably try to make a steal here in the first 4 or 5 seconds. If they're unable to do so, they will certainly be fouling. Yeah, I agree. Get the ball in the hands of Jeffrey Mansfield, who's 14 for 16 from the free throw line. Can't say enough about Jeff here tonight. He's 2 for 13 only from the floor, but he's 14 for 16 from the free throw line. He's got 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Purple Raiders. As Colin Gurley will get set to inbound it. Does indeed get it to Mansfield, who is trapped. It's knocked out of bounds. Will remain Purple Raider basketball here. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Raiders do need to get it across half court. So Gurley will get set to inbound. Chisholm defending. Gurley inbounds it once more to Mansfield. Mansfield gets ahead of the pack and draws the whistle. This one's going on Delvin Barnstable. Barnstable picks up just his second personal foul. Jeffrey Mansfield heads back to the line for free throw attempts number 17 and 18 tonight. So Jeffrey Mansfield to the line for 2. First free throw's up. That one's good. Jeffrey Mansfield makes it 81-77 Mount Union.
Making this a 5-point game would be huge.
Second free throw's up and good. 82-77. Whitewater does not use their final timeout. 15 seconds remaining here for Miles Barnstable. He looks to drive, goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go. A whistle, and they do call a foul.
No, they're calling it out of bounds.
We're out of bounds, yes, indeed.
Going to be Mount.
It appeared as though they might have called it. Oh, they called it out of bounds on Mount Union. They'll say they blocked the shot off the side of the backboard. So it will be Whitewater basketball. 11.8 seconds left to go. Inbound here to Miles Barnstable. Steps into a 3. It's short. Fight for the rebound. And Lambert comes up with it. And Lambert draws the whistle with 7.2 seconds left to go. The foul going on Jeffrey Mansfield. His third. And Elijah Lambert to the line for 2. 7.2 seconds left to go.
Where's the bail bondsman? Dude just got bailed out. Ridiculous.
Elijah Lambert to the line for 2. 2 biggest free throws of his life, that is for sure here. First free throw's up, and it's good. Friendly bounce off the rim and in. It's 82-78 Mount Union. Again, 7.2 seconds left to go here. Lambert, second free throw's up and good. 82-79. Raiders need to inbound it here with 7.2 seconds left. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Whitewater with 1. Gurley gets set to inbound. Gives it to Mansfield. It's knocked out of bounds, though. 6.6 seconds as Delvin Barnstable knocks that ball out of bounds. It will remain Purple Raider basketball. And a whistle here. The referees are going to talk something over on the floor. So Gurley's going to get set to inbound it now. Chisholm will defend. So the referee's still talking things over here. With 6.6 seconds left to go. Could be a clock thing right now. And they will add 0.3 of a second back on the clock now. 6.9 seconds left to go. And the referees are going to look things over on the monitor now to see exactly how much time is remaining. So basically a free timeout here for both these squads. It's pretty simple here, BK. The Raiders just need to inbound the ball, not turn it over. Likely going to get fouled right away. Got to knock down some free throws. But Whitewater really trying to come away with the steal here.
I mean, if you're looking at this logistically, all you need to do is catch the ball, get fouled, go to the line, hit 1 or 2. 2 or 2 is great, but all you need is 1. You make this a 4-point game, and let's say a second gets taken off the clock for the foul. right? So it's 5.9 left on the clock. They still have to take it the length of the court, get a shot up, and still let you get the ball back in. If you hit one of those 2 free throws, it's not guaranteed over, but you're putting the odds in your favor very marginally.
And they're actually looking as well, BK, at whether or not that ball was off Jeffrey Mansfield.
Well, you got to remember they have to have undisputable evidence that it isn't Mount Union's basketball. Otherwise, they have to stay with what the call is on the floor.
And we're seeing it up on the Jumbotron right now. It is very, very close to tell. But again, the call on the floor, that's a great point you make there, Brennan, is that it's Mount Union basketball. And I'm not sure if I see enough evidence from down here. Again, very, very close. I don't know if I see enough evidence that's going to change this call.
If they found something to justify that, I surely don't see it. But, you know, with this...
It's Whitewater basketball.
Wow, I just ate my words.
Wisconsin Whitewater has possession with 6.9 seconds left to go.
I would really like to see that undisputable evidence.
Coach Fuline's got to be careful. He was getting in the face of the referee. It appeared right there. And no, they will actually say it's Mount Union basketball.
Oh my! They're throwing me for a loop right now.
So the referee signaled that it was Whitewater basketball, then started yelling Mount Union. It appeared. So they signaled the wrong direction. So it is Mount Union basketball. Gurley inbounds it to Braden Poole. Poole gets fouled with 5.6 seconds left. What a confusing sequence that was.
Yeah, they threw me for some scrambles. I had no idea what was going on.
That's just... I don't know how you do that, to be completely honest, right there, especially in this big of a situation. You point into the direction of Whitewater, and then you signal and start yelling that it's Mount Union basketball. That just simply, you never really see that.
I kind of want to know why that was even under review.
I thought it was a clock at first, but Braden Poole's first free throw is up and no good. Score's going to remain 82-79. This is going to be the big free throw now for Braden.
This is what we talked about. Got to hit 1 or 2. You hit 1 or 2, you're sitting comfortable.
So Poole, biggest free throw of his collegiate career, puts it up and gets it to go.
He got it.
83-79, 5.6 seconds left to go.
They got to go to the full length and score 4 points still. High pressure from Mount. He's about to get a 5-second.
Lambert inbounds it here to Delvin Barnstable. Barnstable gets across half court. 2.7 seconds left. He puts up the 3. It's no good. Rebound to Braden Poole. The Raiders do it. The Purple Raiders come away with the victory. 83-79. Mount Union coming away victorious. Talk to him, Colin. Talk to him, Colin.
It's not done yet. That's exactly what I like to hear.
As the Raiders come away victorious, 83-79. What a game here tonight. Mount Union advances to their first national championship in school history. They will face off against Christopher Newport on Saturday at 4 p.m. 5 down, 1 more to go. Wow, BK. First off, are you okay after that one? I don't know if I'm okay after that one.
I'm sweating through the shirt I'm wearing and the over top. My God, that was a long game. Well, honestly, one of the best collegiate basketball games I think I've ever watched in my entire life. And if that does not get you here on Saturday to Fort Wayne for this national championship, if you are living in Alliance right now or have any affiliation to do with Mount Union and you aren't here on Saturday, I don't know what you're doing. We need to get this gym full and make it electric. This is going to be one of the first time Mount Union ever wins a national championship, and we're going to rally as a school behind it. So I'm telling you personally, you better freaking get here tomorrow or on Saturday. I'm going to be here. Jacob's going to be here, and it's looking like it's going to be one heck of a national championship.